sweet elevator music.
Let's listen to Minecraft music.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yo, TOS.
UCA.
Yeah. Are you guys sponsored by Turtle Beach?
Yes, we are.
Huge.
Enjoy the waiting music. Just kidding.
It was simpler
He said
times.
no. He waved his hand at me. So 3 things.
Ooh. Are those the prizes?
Okay, so for the giveaway, we'll go Kaisa first, then Star, and then Tom. So you guys will read in order on whatever numbers he gives you later at the end.
All right. What is he? He's gonna like write it in Zoom chat.
Yeah, he'll probably put it in Zoom chat. Look at our
Gotcha.
prizes. Yay, so exciting. Yeah, let's go. Get the energy up.
Let's go. I'm gonna win this prize. Do I have to be in Twitch chat to win it, or do I have to be?
No,
in
you have to be
person?
here to win it.
All right. I'll be right back.
You're gonna drive down San Diego right now? All right. I think we're about to get started pretty soon. I don't really know what's going on.
I think we're live.
Oh, we're live. Oh, shoot. Hello. Welcome.
I think I see me.
This is the last panel for Triton Gaming's event TGEX. Thank you guys so much for being here. This is the first time since the pandemic that we've been back live, so very excited about that. As usual, we got a fantastic panel of streamers. These are all Twitch partners. Let's go. Can we get a round of applause for our streamers?
Woo!
And hello, everybody in Twitch chat. Your presence is also greatly appreciated, and we will be taking questions from you guys as well. So the way this is going to work is the first 30 minutes, I'm going to be asking them some general questions that we have prepared, and then we're going to open the floor so any of you guys attending here in person or on stream can ask questions. Feel free to spam them in chat. I'll vet them myself, and then for the people who want to come and ask questions to our lovely streamers, we'll just line up right here. So just to begin, why don't we get our streamers introduced? We'll go starting Kaisa, then Star, then Tom. And so tell me your guys' name, your pronouns, what your favorite game is, and just like a little one-liner about you, however you want to introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Kaisa. I'm a variety streamer. I go by she, they pronouns. I'm a variety streamer, but I love horror games, and my favorite game is The Last of Us 2. In addition to streaming, I also host. So I host I host like a show on Snapchat, and I also do a lot of video game commercials because I'm also an actor. Nice to meet you all. Hi.
Woo! So exciting!
Kaisa,
Yeah.
Hello everyone. My name is Star. I'm a VTuber. I like Star Wars, so my name is Star2D2. I am a Overwatch / variety streamer who likes horror games like Kaisa. So it's very nice to meet you, and I hope that I can convince all of you to become anime.
What's going on? My name's Tom. I go by Imboston Tom on the interwebs. I also host and act, so you might see me across TV, a lot of internet stuff. It's kind of weird that we all really like horror games, because I was like, oh yeah, they're probably like variety, like story games, but no, I like horror games too. I do a lot of indie horror games that I post on my my gaming channel. Yeah, but excited to be here.
Heck yeah, let's go. Very exciting. All right. So just to get started, our first question is, what is the most exciting thing about being a streamer, and what are the best and worst or most disappointing parts about the job?
Ooh, who are we starting with?
You guys can just jump in whenever you want, whatever feels most natural.
I have something if you guys don't.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Best thing, you get paid to play video games. I'm being honest. That's fucking cool. Like if you told 10-year-old me that in 10 years, it's like, okay, yeah, your job is going to be to play this video game and be entertaining. I'd have been like, that's some BS. That's ridiculous. So that's really cool. I think downside is I feel like it comes in waves. Like it's not a steady 9-to-5 job. So your income can vary from 1 week to 1 week. it's also very much like draining because you are your own boss and you have to motivate yourself every single time that you stream to get up and do it and put in the work. Like you basically have expectations to keep up. Yeah, there's a lot of downsides, but there is a lot of upsides as well. But those are just the first two that came to my mind.
I think for me, the biggest upside is being able to meet so many new friends and people and chat and other streamers as well. And seeing all the creative things people do, especially in the VTuber community, there are so many hidden talents like singers, artists, anything that IRL person can do, a VTuber can do, just because technology has come so far. So it's really nice to see people be able to express themselves in so many different ways just because they can VTube.
I totally agree with everything that was said. I also love that it's kind of like your stream is you being yourself or being, you know, however you want to be. And it's really cool when businesses are like, yeah, we want to pay you money to just be yourself and have a good time and like make our game look fun. But for me, I think one of the biggest downsides, besides what Tom said, where you are your own boss and kind of the grind never stops, is for me, I'm pretty sensitive. So when people like, or like there are trolls in my stream that like attack me for being myself, that also feels kind of bad because it's not like a persona that I personally put on. So it's cool that it's a very like personal job, very, you know, attached to who you are. But for me, that's also kind of a downside.
Going kind of off that, so like when you guys do get hate, whether it's like criticism or actual trolls or whatever specifically on your streams in your community, how do you guys respond to that? Is there anything in particular? Do you have any advice for maybe new streamers as well who might be going through that? Because I definitely think putting yourself out there on the internet is strange, and obviously these are trolls on the internet who would never say this to your face, right? So how do you guys deal with it, and what advice would you give to a new streamer who's also kind of getting their footing within the community and stuff?
Ooh. When I first started, I've been streaming for probably like I think 6 years now. So when I first started, I kind of just let anything go. It was like the wild, wild west. I was like, anyone could come join my stream, anyone could watch, you could say whatever. I thought I had a pretty thick skin because I was already on YouTube for a couple years. Um, and then after about 6 months to a year, I started building up a little bit of an audience, but the audience was super toxic. Holy crap. Like every single day I would get roasted, and I played it off as, you know, like, oh, okay, this is like how you interact with friends. You know, they poke jabs at you and stuff like that. I thought that was just kind of part of the territory. But then it got to the point where it was like I was dreading streaming like every single day. I would as I was like I had everything set up. I had my lights, I had my camera, and I was hovering over the start stream button. And then some days I just wouldn't do it. I'd get so anxious because it was like getting bullied by 60 to, you know, 80 people every day, 3 days a week for hours on end. It's like it's draining. So then because of that, I stopped streaming for like 6 months. I just was totally burnt out, didn't want to do it. And then when I restarted, the first thing I did was make sure that I had mods in place, and I set super strict guidelines. I was like, okay, this is what's acceptable and this is what's not. And that was really the only thing that keeps me like somewhat sane, is having like a decent mod team of people being like, we kind of know what Tom like allows and what he doesn't allow. And if people just come in and immediately troll, it's an auto ban now. It's like I don't have time for it. Goodbye. Like if you're not gonna be cool, you could go someplace else. But yeah, so having a good mod team and setting guidelines really early, I think, of what's acceptable and what's not, because that's what's going to structure your community. It might filter out some of those initial people, but those aren't the people you want in your stream anyway. You don't want to be overrun by trolls.
Totally, yeah. Kaisa,
yeah.
Star, do you guys have anything to say about this?
Right. I think for me, just being completely transparent with my audience. Hey, this is bugging me. If my chat for a while there, I love them, but they were teasing me a lot, and it made me really sad. And I was like, hey guys, stop. And people were like, obviously we talked about it earlier, trying to pry into my private life because I'm a very private person. Hence the whole VTuber thing. I'm just like, they were messaging people they weren't supposed to be messaging. I'm like, stop it. This is my private life. And if someone is in my chat that I think any advice I could give for someone dealing with haters or trolls is just ban. You don't want those people in your community. Who cares about the number? Don't care about the number. I know you want affiliate or partner or whatever, but if that person is bringing down your chat, ban them, or you're gonna lose more than just that one person.
Mm-hmm.
And make like Tom said, just like make sure you're very transparent about what type of community that you want from the very beginning.
Yeah, it
Mm.
like going off of that, it is like a one bad apple kind of ruins the bunch type of feel because what happened with mine is like it spiraled out of control. It was like one person would just like kind of poke fun and bully, and then all the new people coming in saw that I was kind of like joking back with them, so they thought that was okay, and then that's what set it. And it was like the snowball effect of just like starts with one and then two and then anyone else that comes in, and it could go out of control real quick.
I feel like I've taken the opposite approach where when I started streaming, I was like so strict. I had like almost 500 like words on my delete list. I would ban like about like 22 people per stream. I think the highest I got to was like 50 or
Wow.
60 in a stream.
Damn.
And like
Oh.
I was like banning everyone. And then I was kind of like, is my stream not growing because I just banned everyone? So I unbanned everybody. And now I think the community kind of knows what I like and what I don't like. And there's so many people that have, you know, survived that really strict moderation that I don't really ban anyone anymore.
Survival of the fittest.
So
Yeah,
do
I
you,
think
Mexico's, you already have one strike.
I think that's like there's no cookie cutter way to be a streamer. What works for one person won't work for your community. Like Kaisa did it completely different than us, and it worked for her. So just do what works for you and your community.
Totally. Thank you guys. So kind of starting from the beginning, I know like you guys mentioned, Tom, Kaisa, you guys are kind of like actors as well. So what made you guys initially get into streaming? Was streaming the first sort of like brush with internet content that you guys did, content creating, etc.? Like what made you guys decide that you wanted to go towards this direction of content creating?
For me, I was coming off of, so I did YouTube. I was on the same show as you, Ray. Duh, it's weird you're asking that question. Like
They
we're on the
don't know
same show.
that.
I know. So me and Ray, we were on the same show. We were on like a big reaction YouTube channel show. And at the time, contractually, I wasn't allowed to have a YouTube channel. So streaming was the next best thing. So I was looking for a ton of different streaming apps. And I went through like a bunch of the mobile apps. None of them I think exist anymore. Like Lively and like YouNow and a bunch of other just like random live streaming apps. And I really liked it because it was different from YouTube because YouTube was all I known, where people would send a comment and then you could reply to that comment, but then that's the end of it. The engagement's gone after that. So I really liked live streaming. And then when I found Twitch, it was like marrying two of my favorite things. It was like constant interaction and actually getting to know your audience and gaming, and they smushed it together. So I was like, this is the future. So in 2016, I was like, okay, I'm stopping all those crappy phone live streaming apps. And I just kind of invested. I bought like a $1,000 laptop. It blew my whole savings, and I was like, going full force. And then didn't look back.
I in like middle school and high school, I made like a little YouTube video like here and there. I like kind of wanted to, you know, like be a little content creator, but back in my small town it was like super like cringy, and it was like not something you like told people about. There's like one girl who had a YouTube channel and everyone's like, oh, like her YouTube. And so I never really did it. And then when I moved to LA for acting in all the like non-union entry level auditions, they were just like, oh, what's your follower count? And I'm like, I don't have followers. So my friend was like, have you heard of Twitch? And I've always loved, you know, video games. And I think I've kind of always wanted to do this, but kind of doing it for my career was the push, where it's like, you have to really commit the time to this because it does take a lot of time and resources. And so that's why I started streaming. I don't know where I was going with this sentence, but yeah, so now I stream on Twitch and also TikTok, and also now you kind of have to do everything. So you kind of have to be on like all the apps now. But yeah, that's how I got into content creation.
Heck yeah. Star, what about you?
For me, I just wanted I there's this hero in Overwatch called Mercy. I'm very
Yeah.
addicted.
We are familiar, yes.
I am very addicted to her. I think I have almost close to 2,000 hours on
Are
her.
you're a
Oh my
Mercy fan?
God.
I'm a Mercy main. So I wanted to make videos about her because I wanted to find other people that liked Overwatch and Mercies. That's how I got into it.
That's so funny. So
That's
did you,
awesome.
That's
by
great.
making videos, do you mean like you made YouTube videos at first and then started streaming, or
Yeah.
did you just start streaming from the get-go?
I started making videos about Overwatch, and then I noticed my videos and tutorials about Mercy started getting views and traction, and that let me start a Twitter and a Twitch and everything and get an audience that way.
Okay, for sure. Well, obviously, all three of you guys have experience with YouTube. Kaisa and Tom, it sounds more like these were kind of like personal YouTube videos rather than gaming. Do you guys think that making the switch from YouTube over to like streaming full time and like fully committing to that was good for your career, like better for your mental health, like more fun for you to do? Like, just I'm curious the comparison between doing these like YouTube videos versus doing these live streams now.
Personally, this might be a hot take, but I don't think it was. Like if I was smarter back then, I would have 100% just stuck to YouTube videos. I should have just went full force. Um, Not that I regret streaming, but it's incredibly hard to grow on Twitch. Twitch is like a kingmaker system. So the people at the top typically tend to stay at the top. There's like some outlier cases like Ludwig and stuff like that, where people absolutely blow up in a matter of months. But uh, I think it would have been better for my career if I stuck with more like higher ROI apps like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, just because their algorithm is constantly recommending new people. And I think this is good advice for anyone that's like looking to become a streamer. The only way you grow on Twitch, from what I've found, there's two ways. It's either collaborating with another audience, like if me and Kaisa were to do a dual stream or something like that, or rating. And two, the big one, the main one, is you take an audience somewhere else and you push it over there. That's the only way you grow on Twitch. They have like a recommendation system now, but it's like you'll get a couple followers a stream, but not anything crazy. So I personally, if I was going back in time, I would have slapped myself and be like, bro, go YouTube full time, stream for fun, instead of like go stream for full time and do YouTube for fun. I got it backwards.
I've definitely struggled with this because I like being on camera. I like talking. I just like doing the on camera thing. And that's all what streaming is. But I do think that videos like on YouTube and TikTok are kind of better, because if you're not streaming, you're not making money, you're not working, you're not making content. There's kind of no offline value of Twitch. So it kind of sucks if you do like a long 8-hour stream, then you eat, sleep, wake up, do another 8-hour stream, and that's your whole life, versus, you know, posting a video in like the privacy of your own home or whatever, and then posting it, and then you don't have to read the comments, and then you can, you know, work on another video. I feel like is a lot like mentally healthier. I do think that Twitch is good for monetization. From what I've personally experienced, just with, you know, I don't have a huge YouTube audience, or like I've done TikTok streams, like the amounts of money I make on other apps is not as nearly as much as I can make on Twitch. But that's definitely a trade-off. If, you know, you want kind of maybe making some money that day, or potentially just like long-term growing your career that day.
That's a good point. Twitch is insane for monetization of like smaller audiences, I think.
Yeah.
It's like, it's almost like a scale of like, for smaller audiences on Twitch, it's like that. But if on YouTube, it's like that. And then the bigger YouTubers, like when you start hitting some serious views, that's when you're getting like hit up by brands, and just, it can absolutely explode. But I agree with that, actually.
All right. Obviously, we have a streamer here who looks a little bit different than the rest. Star, you are a VTuber. For those of people who don't know what VTubing is, could you just give me a quick little summary of what it is, what you do? Are you portraying like a character, or is it just you? And also, why did you decide to get into VTubing over just doing like IRL face and voice stuff?
Oh,
A
Oh.
VTuber? Oh,
Oh, there we go. You're
Just
back.
kidding.
Okay, you're good.
Do you
Uh,
have a moon tattoo on your head and one red eye and one green eye?
yes.
Be honest.
I got corrupted by the void. I couldn't help it. It just came at me. A VTuber is it's just a normal person that streams with a virtual avatar in place of their IRL self. And for me, the reason why I wanted to become a VTuber is just I was a faceless streamer before I became a VTuber. So I wanted a way to interact with my audience because for me, community and interaction with my chat, my audience were super important. That's the most important thing to me. And I wanted a way to interact with them other than just like, hi, I can fly around and play Mercy all day. And it evolved into like this really cool creative outlet for me to make a character. And Star is a lot of myself. And there are sometimes where I do a little bit of RP it really adds, I think, to the stream and just a different form of content creation. It's really fun.
Totally. And then for Star and Kaisa, obviously, you two are girls. The internet and gaming community is kind of well known for being toxic or even the opposite towards women. What have your guys' experiences been being women on stream, women on Twitch, women in gaming, etc.?
I was thinking about this earlier and listening to some of the other panels, and I don't know how much is specific to like gaming versus just like our society and business as a whole. Because sometimes
True.
I'll talk to like some women I know in other industries, and I'm like, oh, this sucks. Gaming's so male dominated, and XYZ, your appearances really matter and all this stuff. And they're like, oh yeah, it's the same in my industry. And I'm like, that's disappointing. But I feel like it's definitely kind of battle I kind of choose to deal with. I think with any male dominated industry, it's kind of something that unfortunately is going to be very present. I've kind of noticed it with different audiences, especially if I stream on TikTok. There's a lot of people that are still like, I didn't know girls played video games, and I'm like, what year is this? It can get pretty exhausting. But there are a lot, I think, more women entering the gaming space. I mean, women were always there, but I think, kind of being more cognizant of being like, yes, we want to support women in gaming, like with Galorants. I think it's really cool. It's like a woman focused like Valorant group, and there's a kind of a lot more companies being aware, or in like the commercials I do, they're like, yes, we actually really wanted like a girl in this commercial because we want to appeal to like women. There's a lot of women in gaming, a lot of women that want to spend a lot of money in gaming, and so I think companies are becoming more aware of that, but it does suck sometimes.
I think for me, it's just when I started my Star channel, I've never had a negative experience with another streamer. I consider myself super lucky on that part. Every person that I've played with that's identified as a male or a dude or whatever, they've been super nice and welcoming and inclusive. One I can think of is Salty. And that whole crew, they're so kind.
Yes.
They are a breath of fresh air in the Overwatch community. I love them all. They're so sweet. They're so kind and welcoming and inclusive to everyone in the group. And like I know Overwatch can be known for a lot of, and I've experienced a lot of it playing Overwatch and just Blizzard games in general. Just a lot of like toxic dudes in game. Oh, Mercy main. Oh, you suck. Oh, you're a girl getting back in the kitchen. I'm just like, okay, whatever. It's always nice to know that there's a really cool group of people that can go back and play with whenever they want, and I feel very lucky on that part. And I think like overall, I'm super lucky to say that I haven't had too many negative experiences with that outside of Overwatch.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear it, dude. I feel like that's rare. So very good for you. But kind of pivoting away from that sort of thing and more just towards general streaming stuff. Out of curiosity, what was like the most iconic moment of your streaming career? Whether it's like a clip or like a moment or a specific like game that you did. If you could name like the most iconic thing and give a little anecdote with that, that'd be awesome.
Anyone?
I don't know if it's iconic, but I guess it like stands out to me. So I'd be like, oh yeah, you are that girl. I got 3 million bots sent to my Twitch account.
Holy crap.
And
Sorry about that.
and I think that like I like made a video about it, and I think it was like my first viral TikTok. Whoa. But everyone's like, Twitch is gonna report you, and like Twitch removed the bots like 9 months later. And it was really weird that everyone suddenly talked to me like I was super famous. They're like, oh, like Kaisa, yes, we'd love to have a meeting with you. And I'm like, what is happening? Like these are all fake metrics. There's like a Deserto article about it. It was super weird. So now they're gone. And whenever I get follow botted now, I got like 1,000 follow bots like last week or something. I'm like, these are rookie numbers. Like, I don't even care.
That's so crazy. I remember I got follow botted ones with like only 50, and I was like, bro, this sucks. This is so
man,
much
your
effort. I can't
alerts?
imagine like thousands. Like, that's so crazy, dude. Oh my
No.
gosh.
It was so funny. My old roommate Brian, he got followed by 30K one stream. His whole computer was like like trying to keep up with it, and he had to stop stream. He was like so red. And then he posted like a picture, and he was like, it showed us metrics. He had like 6,000 followers, and then one day it was like 36,000. He was like, "Get on my level."
Okay, well, do you guys, Star and Tom, is there any like little iconic moments you want to talk about, or should we move on to the next question?
You can go, Star.
Okay. I think for me, I got featured. I was desperate to climb out of bronze.
Mood?
Ray can relate.
They don't know my rank, Tom. We're not publicizing this information right now.
Stylusa was doing coaching videos at the time, and I was like, teach me how to be a good Mercy. And I got featured in his Mercy Overwatch video where he did coaching for players. And I got so much help from so many different people in the Overwatch community. And that's how I think I initially found my community, was through that. And I shot up to GM after that.
Oh my, from bronze,
Bronze
to
to
GM?
GM?
Wow.
That is insane. What the heck, girl?
Oh my gosh.
Dang,
Teach me your
pop off.
ways.
Gamer girl queen.
Straight up. I don't think it was iconic, but it was definitely like a big moment for me. So you remember when like Fall Guys was really big?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I loved Fall Guys, but I was so trash at it. I was so incredibly bad. I was so bad, like at this children's game, that it was like a 3-month span of me. My roommate would always win. Everyone would always win. Like even Tim the Tapman, who was notoriously like really bad at this game, he got a win before me. And I was streaming like at least every other day, playing for 3-4 hours trying to get this win, and I just couldn't get it. So it kind of like snowballed into this, like, when is he going to get it? Is he ever going to win? And it was funny because every stream I'd get more viewers because I was doing so bad. And my whole community like had this huge inside joke of, will you ever win? Are 8-year-olds still kicking your ass? Yeah. And it took me a long time, but when it did, oh my gosh, it was such a celebration. The whole chat was going wild. I was like over 200 viewers of just like people celebrating. It was a joyous day that I don't think I'll forget. It was really funny.
Aw. That's so
really cool.
wholesome. I love
Yeah,
that.
it was so fun.
So now kind of getting into more technical questions. What tools, aside from obviously like streaming software like OBS, do you guys use in your workflow?
Ooh.
For streaming, or are you
Yeah, like
talking about,
programs. Like I know Star obviously has her whole VTuber thing. What programs do you use for that? Do you guys use any other, like, do you guys like use, I don't know. Do you guys have any other outside stuff besides just OBS that you like to utilize? Maybe you can talk about your Go XLR, Tom, et cetera, you know, that kind of stuff.
I don't have it set up right now, but yeah. For me, I'll just run through my equipment really quick.
Yeah,
So
go for
for software, I use OBS. Like that's pretty industry standard just because it's free and everyone has access to it. So you could download that super easily. For alerts, I use Streamlabs, which is notoriously bad. But I'm too lazy to change it. So I've been doing it for 6 years. I'm just going to stick with it. So that's where I get my alerts from. I'm on a single PC setup. For a mic, I use a Shure SM7B with a cloud lifter, which is just because this mic is like really quiet. It sounds really good, but it's really quiet. So you have to boost it. So before it goes into your mixer, I have it go through a cloud lifter into a mixer, which is usually a Go XLR, which I can't talk highly enough. I use my Go XLR for everything. It's sweet. You can self beep. That's why I've been swearing so much. I'm usually used to bleeping myself out, but I can't. You can have auto tune. You can do a ton of effects, and it's super cool. I got an Elgato Stream Deck, which is super useful. You can set up transitions and multi-layer stuff. You can mute alerts in case you get follow botted. You just want to turn them off. You could turn off. And then I got a Sony camera hooked up to a Cam Link, which is basically just like it ups your quality from a webcam. A lot of people use a webcam. So if you want to like one up it to make it look a little crispier, you can get a DSLR camera and then hook it up to a Cam Link that plugs right into your computer, and then you're off to the race. But this took like years to acquire all of this. When I first started, it was like I was streaming off of a gaming laptop, reading chat on my phone, and I think I had like the headphones that come with like an iPhone 6, like the corded headphones, you know. So it definitely like, and I was just using the webcam that was on the laptop that was like 480p or something. So it definitely took a long time to like upgrade it. If you're just
Totally.
starting out, don't worry about equipment, just start and then work up from there.
Yeah, I noticed that was one of the questions for later, but I agree. Just start with what you have. I have so many chatters come in and they're like, I want to stream, but I want to spend like $3,000 first and get
Mhm.
everything perfect. And I'm just want to be like, no, just use your phone. Just use
Yeah.
whatever computer you have. I bought like the most budget gaming PC I could build, and was reading chat off my like MacBook. And my friend was like, oh, Valkyrie did that too. And I'm like, oh, sick. And I used like Amazon Basics headphones and, you know, like really like low level gear. I feel like sometimes my setup is kind of it's not janky, it's like nice stuff, but sometimes I still am in the mindset of like, oh, I don't have all this fancy equipment, even though now I do. I have a Stream Deck, which you can't really see. There's Aaron from Attack on Titan, his face on there. But I kind of use that for everything. Kind of the new Twitch trend is like multi-camera zoom ins and stuff, which kind of makes it look like a live YouTube video that I definitely heavily utilize. And I have a similar setup to Tom. I have a single PC. I have a HyperX Quadcast S. I recommend if you can afford a nice mic arm, because I noticed that I would like feel really bad and my back would be really sore and all this stuff after stream. And it's because I was like hunching over my microphone. So I think definitely kind of quality of life things, or a nice chair, doesn't have to be, you know, top of the line, but things that will make you more comfortable and therefore happier and therefore like funnier on stream. And, you know, I think just have like better content is to make sure that you know, everything you have is kind of, you are setting yourself up for success with your equipment.
I use everything they use and a lot more. I think for 2D streams, it's pretty basic. Just my Stream Deck, I have a mouse with like 12 buttons.
Oh, you're a Final
Dang.
Fantasy player? Is that why?
Yeah, that's why I have a mouse. But it worked out for VTubing because I can give myself cat ears or like.
That's all on your mouse?
Yeah.
Whoa,
That's
that's
hype.
crazy.
I changed all my expressions and everything. So I have that. When I'm 3D VTubing, there's a lot more that goes into it. I have my Vive trackers for VR tracking. I have a full body tracking suit like Code Miko that can track my body movements. I've been working on a Unreal Engine setup so that way I can move in 3D like that. I'm gonna be having a 3D body made soon, so I'm really excited for that.
Holy crap.
It's really cool. So, and then like I wear a helmet.
You're wearing a helmet right now?
Well, I sometimes I do if
Okay.
I'm moving around. I wear a helmet on my head that has a iPhone holder in it, so it can track my face. So I can
This
have
is so interesting.
So cool.
so I can like do that and stuff. And the 3D models can do that as well. It's really cool. But right now I just have like basically the same setup as every other streamer, except a more beefy computer. I have to have a beefy computer to run all my programs,
Oh,
and
I'm
just
sure.
a phone.
What is
So,
like your this is totally gonna be nerdy for if there's anyone in the audience right now. What is your like CPU usage when you're like streaming? Is it like ridiculous? Is
it's
it
like
like
70%.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, you're gonna need a beefy
Yeah.
computer. Holy smokes.
Yeah. It works though. It works out.
Heck yeah.
So
That's awesome. Well, we are going to now move over to audience questions. So if any of you guys in the audience or you in Twitch chat would like to ask something, come and line up here. You're going to tell your question to Alex over here first so he can make sure they're appropriate. And then I will just read the ones from Twitch. So if you're on Twitch, feel free to just ask multiple questions, do whatever you want. I'll just vet them myself and read them from here. But yeah, question time. So feel free to do that. I guess the one last thing I'm going to have you guys answer before we get into that is just real quick, what would be something you suggest for somebody starting out streaming? What is like the one most integral piece of advice that you want to give them?
good
Cool.
audio.
Yeah.
Good audio. No one cares about your video. Good audio. And then video, but audio.
I was also going to say, take everyone's advice with a grain of salt in general, because when I started streaming, everyone's like, the way to grow on Twitch is to stream as much as you can on Twitch.
Who
And
told
that's-
you that?
everyone told me that. And so like, even let's say, I know it's horrible advice. And so like, let's say someone is like viral, huge streamer right now. And you're like, hey, how did you grow on Twitch? Well, that formula might've worked like 3 years ago, but now it's a different landscape with, you know, people on different apps or doing different kind of content in trend. So I would say, listen to all the advice, but definitely no, there is no one path to, you know, being a successful streamer, whatever that means to you. So listen to everything, but also question everything.
I think the biggest thing for me, and why I've talked to a lot of people that want to start streams, but they just never do it. And the first thing that like I noticed when I was like hesitating to do it is that I would analyze everything. Like I had to have everything perfect. So I'd overanalyze everything. I'd be watching a ton of YouTube videos and I was like, okay, I need to have this camera. I need to have this setup. So I was just constantly diving in. And that it was almost like analysis paralysis where I wasn't doing anything, but I was like running in place thinking that I was getting to where I needed to go when that's not the case. So the best thing you could do, just start. Whatever equipment you have or whatever you can afford, don't break the bank, just go for it. Start doing it. When you're actually streaming, I think a good piece of advice is think of it like a radio show. Have you ever turned on the radio and there's nothing, like it's just silence? It's fucking creepy. If I had it happen on like a junior radio station that I was listening to, like a college radio station, it's eerie. Like to hear a song play for like 3 minutes and then it's nothing, you get scared. So you'll click away. It's the same thing with Twitch. If nothing's happening, if there's not constant audio or something on the screen moving, then people will find something more interesting to do, whether that be watch another streamer or like go on YouTube, Netflix. You're not competing with just other streamers. You're competing with attention. It's
true.
a fight for people's eyeballs. So the more entertaining you could be, the better. So just try to practice talking and like nonstop. And I think that's how.
Yeah, like you're doing
how
right
it
now.
goes.
So let's
Yeah.
move along and get to
Fill
some
all
audience
my-
questions.
No.
All right.
Hi.
Can you
Is there
see
a
me?
moment in time where you guys like, hey, I'm good at this and I should start streaming? Or like for people who want to start, is there like a certain personality or characteristic they should look out for to get started?
I don't think it's like a one size fits all type of thing. I know so many streamers that are like different than me and took different approaches to streaming. Like I'm a very much like an extroverted person. I like to talk a lot, blah, blah, blah. But I watch some streamers, like you can look at like Sakudo, like very shy, reserved. Like there's not one personality type that will succeed on Twitch. I think it's actually the opposite, where I think people are constantly looking for different types, like people that represent them. So if they don't find it with one streamer, they'll find it with another. Like, I'm sure there might be crossover, but like someone that watches me might not like the same content that Star does, and people that watch Star might not like the same content that I do. So I don't think there's a personality type. I would just say try it, and like your own your own inner core will shine through.
This might sound really cheesy, but remember, you're the only you.
Oh,
So just keep that in mind when you're making your content. Put yourself into it because that'll make you unique right off the bat.
Awesome. Okay, cool. We got another audience question here.
I have two questions, if you don't mind. The first one being, what is your favorite third-party emote?
what was that third party?
Your
emote?
favorite third-party emote.
Let me go through some right now.
Like Kick W.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah,
Kick
like
W.
those, like
Yeah.
the Pepegas and stuff.
Oh, Popcat's awesome.
They're all just looking at the emotes. They're like,
Pepe blush. People blush.
I like Kiss a Homie a lot. Kiss a Homie's a good
Kiss
one.
a
I
homie.
don't know that one.
I also like oh frick, what Peepo? Yeah, Peepo is a good one.
There's so many good ones.
I love Biden Jam. It's like Cat Jam, but Joe Biden.
No way.
I like this trend VTubers do where they have one where their butts like swirling around in a circle, with, like a little wiggle emote.
Oh my gosh.
All right, my second question is, who's your favorite streamer that you watch on your free time?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Mm.
Ooh. That you want to what?
In your
That you
free
watch
time.
in your free time.
Ah.
Ooh, mine's changed and it constantly changes. So I used to watch Ludwig a ton. I used to watch Valkyrie a lot. Then she went to YouTube, and for some reason I don't watch as much on YouTube. I guess I bleed purple. But the biggest streamer that I watch right now isn't really a streamer anymore. It's like a production. I watch a lot of Critical Role, which is a D&D
Nice.
Ooh.
D&D.
stream. I love them. The number
Yeah.
one subscribed to Twitch channel, apparently,
Heck
after the
yeah.
leak. Yeah, so I watch them. Just I think their personalities are hilarious, and it's just so good.
Okay.
I watch.
Oops, sorry, no, you go, sir.
I'm sorry. I watch a lot of Iron Mouse and Shy Lily, and I really like Lena Lazar. She's a horror VTuber. They're all
Ooh.
really cool.
That's awesome. A horror VTuber. How cool.
Yeah, that sounds sick.
Is she also like scary looking? Like, is her
Yeah.
model scary?
She's not. She's so cute. Like it's cute, scary. Just cute, cute but scary.
Cute. Okay, we're gonna take a couple of Twitch questions before we get to the rest of the audience ones.
What about Kaisa? Let her go
So-
real quick.
All right. Hachimaru
Oh.
TV asks, waffles or pancakes? Very important question.
Waffles.
Waffles, 100%.
Billion%. Crispy texture. Pancakes
Mhm.
are soggy and bad.
All right. Next one is Sprocket Blue asks, 4-star to D2, do you love VTubing?
I love VTubing a lot. Yes, it's really fun.
What if you were just like, I hate it?
Yeah, you're like, I hate doing
I
this.
hate it.
You're like, I
wanna
wish
be
I
a
could just
VTuber
show my face,
anymore.
but it's been too long for that.
I'm in too deep.
So
I
silly.
spent too much money.
All right, hold on. One more. Okay, so this is kind of a more serious question. So I know I kind of focused this a little bit on the girls, but Kai Almighty wants to ask, Tom, as a male streamer, do you also experience a lot of like sexual harassment? Like people come in to ask you to like show your
Ooh.
feet and stuff? Or is
Uh,
this, because I feel like we talk a lot about obviously like women getting harassed on stream, but it could definitely happen to handsome lads like Tom. So I
Yeah.
guess does that happen to you, and how do you as a male like deal with that?
You know what's weird is like it never happened to me up until like I'd say this past like year and a half. And it bothered me because I like would come back from the gym or something and I would just stream in like a cutoff, like a tank top. And it would happen in like varying degrees. You know, first it started like people like, oh, you're like cute or whatever. And then it would get like a little more aggressive. And it got to the point where I was like, hey, like, guys, stop. Like I just have so much sympathy for anyone that goes through it like crazy because I'm pretty strict. And I told my mods, I'm like, it was kind of weird at first because I was so not used to that my mods actually reached out to me after and was like, hey, are you okay? Do you want us to do something next time? And yeah, so I had like a little talk with one or two of my mods after it and be like, okay, yeah, we got to set like more guidelines around that. So yeah, I have experienced it a little bit, but I'm sure not to the degree that I feel like a lot of like people get. But yeah, it took me back a little bit for sure.
Totally, I'm sure. And they
yeah.
also wanted to know about Star, if that also happened to you, since you kind of portray a character and you're not a real person. Does that also still happen to you in your community? And how do you deal with that?
I had a lot of people when I first started uh ask me for character nudes.
Character nudes.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
And I'm like, you guys can make art of my character. I don't care. Just like obviously share it in a different tag, not the main art tag, because minors might be looking in there. But like I don't care. Just I don't want to see it. But like my character's kind of disconnected from actual me, so I'm just like, yeah, go for it. I want to see her like that. Let's go.
Yeah, you really just throw your character out to the sharks. You're like, let's see what happens.
Rule 34. Let's go.
Just out of unrelated question, what is that hashtag? For no particular reason, I'm not totally gonna make it. I'm just kidding. All right, we got another couple audience questions for you out here.
Hi. What's the turning point that you guys finally started making it a full-time job?
Also, like for like money wise and stuff like that. So for me, I've always been like a child of like I want to have as many different income streams as possible. So even when I was streaming, I don't think you should go full time like right off the bat. Like I think that's immediately a mistake. So I was streaming, I think 3 times a week after my full time job, and then it got to the point where uh, like monetarily after like a year and a half of doing it, I was sustainable. I was like, okay, I'm making about similar what I was making at my full-time job, and I'm getting exhausted doing both. That's when I started. I'm like, and it wasn't until like after a year of doing it and making the same amount of money, that's when I was like, okay, I feel comfortable enough to go into this full time. But I think a lot of people like they do it for a month and they make the same as their job and they immediately quit. They're like, okay, now it's time to go. And I think that's kind of a mistake just because it comes in waves. Like I've had months where I have like concurrent viewers of like 200, and then I have months where I'm at like 60 viewers, and then some where I'm at 100. Like when you've been doing it for so long, you can see it kind of ebbs and flows. Uh, so just be really sure when you're gonna do it that you know that it might be doing well right now, but in a couple months things could change.
Yeah, I'm terrified of putting all my eggs in one basket.
Mhm.
I like stream on Twitch. I also have like acting like commercials. I also record mobile ads. Also, if there's like events that I'm like paid a speaker fee. Also, if there's like, certain projects that I source on my own. I always have a lot of different things going on. And I feel like it all kind of evens out to like an income that I'm happy with. But also people don't realize that a lot of this stuff you get paid like 60 days down the line, 40 days down the line. So you have to, when you make money, you have to keep that in mind. And it kind of sucks when you're like, well, technically I'm making a lot of money, but there's nothing in my bank account because I'm not going to get it for another 2 months.
Felt that.
So technically I'm like full-time content creator, but I feel like I don't see myself that way at all. And I don't know if I really recommend that to everyone, even though it kind of seems like for a lot of people it is like the ultimate goal of like full-time only streaming. I don't know if that's necessarily a good goal to have.
Yeah, it's weird because I kind of agree because I have like when I say full time, I mean I have a Patreon, I have my Twitch, I have YouTube, I have brand deals, I have acting jobs, I have hosting jobs, and all that together makes full time income. That's a good point. Like we're freelancers when it comes down to it. Like we're not Twitch employees.
I do like a lot of video editing.
Mhm.
So I do that, and I do voiceover work, and then plus my streaming YouTube. So it's like a lot of different monetary streams because you don't want to rely on one, like everyone's been saying.
Yeah, one will dry up.
Mhm.
You got to think of yourself like a spider. And like if one leg gets chopped off, you got to keep crawling.
True. Very true. All right, we got another audience question here.
Okay. Before you started streaming, did you have a streamer that you looked up to, or was there a certain inspiration for you to start streaming?
Ooh, that is a great question.
Oh man.
Oh, for me, oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
Oh, for me, it was definitely Summit 1G, Ammunition, and Lots of Bunnies. And they were the streamers that before I started streaming, I like watched a lot of their streams. I'm like, I want to be just like them. And so I kind of based my, stream off of them. And they're all streaming today, which is still super cool because it's so weird. The longer you stream, the more you see people like slowly move off the platform, and you're like, where did everyone go? So those are definitely the 3 streamers I really looked up to and still look up to.
Yeah, for me, I remember watching a stream and their name is Loco, and they had 200 viewers. Like, oh man, like one day I hope to just have like 100 viewers, like half of that would be crazy. And then when you hit it, it's like, oh wow, like that was my goal 2 years ago and I hit it. So the people I looked up to were definitely Loco was the first one. I just loved their streams. I watched a lot of Pokimane and Valkyrae just because it was like right before Fortnite took off, and then I really liked offline TV stuff like that. And it changes like each month. I feel like I had a different streamer that I was like, man, they're cool, and everyone has their own unique thing, which is cool.
Yeah. I think for me, like for VTuber wise, was Natsume Moi. She was one of the very first English speaking VTubers. That's how I kind of found out about it. And Kizuna AI for VTubing, like for in general, just content creation. Someone I really looked up to was Markiplier.
The king.
Hello, everybody.
His voice.
Oh
and
man.
And it's just his focus on community and friendship and all that stuff is something that I think is super important that I wanted to push forward into my streams.
Totally. Awesome.
My favorite YouTuber. Always will be. I love Markiplier.
We're going to take a couple more Twitch questions now. Thank you, guys. Again, if anyone else from the audience wants to come up and ask, feel free to come up here. Brosler85 asks, are there any streamers that you'd like to collab with that you think you'd mesh well with? So I guess, who is your dream collab?
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yo,
I have good questions today.
Yeah, that is good. Who? You guys could go. I'd have to think about it.
I want to collab with Lena Lazar. I love her content.
I have no idea.
I think I'd like to collab with, Pokey's obviously.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And
Of course.
a lot of like kids come in and be like, you look like you could be Pokemon's friend. And I'm like, I don't know what that means, but sure, I'll go with it. Or also Loco. I think a different Loco than you mentioned, Tom. LOWCO. That's not who you're talking about, right?
LOWCO?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same Loco.
Oh, that was the same Loco. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Loco does a lot of like, I feel like she's gotten a lot into like hosting, and she hosts a show on, I think, twitch.tv/Twitch Gaming now. And she does a lot of the same kind of like hosty stuff, and she's brand safe, and I'm brand safe. I love to see that.
Heck yeah. All right. Laliet 1187 asks, where do you guys see yourselves in 3 to 5 years as a streamer, or I guess just as a content creator?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be streaming for 5 to 10 years. I feel like eventually it will probably evolve for me in some way. Like content's constantly evolving, and I don't know if live stream content is going to be like the next frontier. I feel like it's going to eventually evolve into something like almost like VTubing, but I feel like it's going to be metaverse something, like some type of social media, something like that. So the thing is, like, if you want to do social media, anything, it's constantly evolving. So I'm going to be trying to follow the industry trends and seeing what's next. I don't know. What about you guys?
I want to do voiceover work full time, be a voice actor, and metaverse stuff. Just because VTuber, I gotta translate.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know for a lot of the big streamers and some of these like, long articles that they do about them, they talk about how there's really no like graduation of like, once you become the top streamer, you just have to forever work hard to be the top streamer. And if you're not the top streamer anymore, you've like fallen off, which is kind of a sad mentality that people have. I agree that I don't know if it's like next frontier. I feel like it would be cool if in 3 to 5 years I could stream less but have a bigger audience. I think the
The
ideal,
dream.
the dream to do like one stream a week for like 4 hours and like have a big audience. I feel like would be great for work-life balance.
Mm.
Okay, cool. All right, so we're gonna do more Twitch questions, and then I'm gonna ask one more of this, and then we have another in person, and then I'm gonna go back. We have a lot of Twitch questions. These people are like very curious about things, but
Oh yeah.
Yo Man Hero asks, for someone who's just getting into streaming, how do y'all recommend setting up a streaming schedule?
Oh. I say like just do what you can. Like I don't know your situation. I think it depends on the person. Like if you're working a full-time job, it might be hard to like stream a bunch. I don't think more than 3 days a week, like 3 days a week tops. And what you should be doing on the other, what is that, 4 days, is cutting down those streams and putting them on other platforms like TikTok, YouTube. If you could just like, if you go to any game right now, you go to like, here, I'm just going to go on Twitch's browse tab. I'll click on the first game. Okay, League of Legends. If you have a viewer or 2 viewers, try to scroll down to find a 1 to 2 viewer stream. It's going to take a while. My computer's heating up right now, so I'm not going to go down. I've been scrolling this whole time I've been talking. I'm at the 24 viewer mark right now. And there's literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of streams. The only way you're going to be able to jump up to get new eyeballs on your stream is if you're pushing people from other platforms onto your Twitch. So don't focus so much on streaming at the beginning. Focus on getting clippable moments that you can push onto other platforms like YouTube or TikTok, like either cutting down. So take the other 4 days and edit those, throw them up.
I agree with that. And also, if you have like a gaming community already, I think that's great to foster. I've been streaming for like 5 years now, and I have like 100 concurrents. I know someone that just started streaming. They've maybe done their like 9th stream ever, and they have like 200 concurrents. But that's because they're like really involved with like a World of Warcraft guild, and they're really in the community. And I think that if you already have a network of even like other Twitch chatters, or streamers, whose streams you like to hang out with, I think kind of rallying the community together for some of your first streams will also help, in addition to posting clips offline. I do not recommend streaming as much as possible.
You've learned.
I've learned my lesson.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Why don't we go for one last audience question, and then we'll read some Twitch stuff, and then we'll do the giveaway. Woo!
Woo!
Hi, so my question is, do you ever feel burnt out from streaming? And if you do, is there any way you deal with it?
Oh, that's crazy. That was going to be my Twitch question. Dang.
Oh,
Whoa.
who wants to take this on?
I've had several times where I burned out and I just stopped because my mental health is more important than a stream. For
Totally.
me.
It's been a very long journey for me to learn how to enjoy the journey. I think it's a lot easier to not get burnt out when you actually have some good streams and some videos do pop off. But when you're kind of in the early stages, or even, a plateau stage where you're not really getting any payoff for your hard work, it can be really frustrating. And I think in those times, you kind of have to learn that life is still ongoing, and even though it feels like you kind of have to spend as much time as you can, work as hard as you can with content, that you should still enjoy just being a person.
Yeah, I get burnt out a lot, especially at the very beginning of like streaming. So I don't think it's the end of the world to take breaks. I think algorithmically, everything on social media, it's like all about posting consistently. So if there's any way to try to like bulk shoot or bulk edit so you're more ahead on what you need to do, that's probably the best way, because then you could take those breaks, or you'll just have more time in general where you're not on. Because I feel like it's probably the same with Kaisa and Star. When you're streaming, it's like yourself, but like an amped up version of yourself. It's like you times, like plus 10%. So it's very easy to get burnt out of constantly being on. So any way you can try to get ahead of it and prep for it, because it's going to happen eventually. Like you see all the biggest streamers, the ones that stream for like 8 hours a day every single day, they'll like take a whole month break just because their mental state is in shambles, because that's not how humans work.
So, kind of branching off of that, one of the Twitch questions, Dens Upon a Time asks, so what do you do in your time off to get away from the stream exhaustion and avoiding burnout? So what do you guys like doing in your free time?
I this is gonna sound stupid. I love playing video games, but
Just offline video games?
But seriously, it's a different vibe. Like for me, especially, I love first-person shooters, but my audience that necessarily doesn't really like first-person shooters. So anytime where I could just sit in silence and play video games and just make callouts, oh man, I love it. I also like going outside. As much as gamers hate it, I love touching grass. I like going on hikes, working out, running. Yeah, just anytime where I'm not trapped in the room, unless I'm trapped in the room because I'm playing video games.
I have like a set games that I refuse to stream, like Final Fantasy 14 and Sims and stuff like that, and Animal Crossing. Those are like, these are my games, these are my time, no stream.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love that for you.
Yeah, I have that with like Persona 5. I'm like, if I stream it, people are gonna backseat it and spoil it. This is my game. Or like on my Switch, I'll play like Stardew Valley as like a brain cleanse, like before I go to sleep, or like Pokemon Unite. And yeah, it's like these are my games.
Okay, totally. So, before we wrap up, I guess, is there anything else you guys want to say to Twitch chat, to the audience? Anything at all?
I think if you're wanting to become a streamer, just always be genuine and be yourself. As corny as that sounds, it'll get you really far.
They're cheering for you guys. I don't know if you can hear it.
Oh, yeah.
This
I
mic
think,
is very sensy.
Oh, I think the best thing is just try it. You won't know until you actually try if you want to be a streamer. And don't get discouraged at first, because it is a grind. There's a reason why people call it grinding, because it's a slog. It's a lot of work, and it might look like everyone's just playing video games and having fun, but there's like tens and hundreds of thousands of hours that's going behind it to make it look fun. Whether that be editing, whether that be working on like public speaking or just the tech setup. It takes a lot of work, but don't get discouraged from it. Like, don't just focus on the equipment. Just stream with what you have and build from there.
Yeah, at the end of the day, streaming is kind of a dream career for a lot of people, and you have to make sure that you're also having fun and you're also enjoying it. And it's so easy to forget that with like the algorithm and all the metrics and everything, to kind of remember why you started streaming in the first place. And also, I think as a general content rule, don't what's the phrase, don't kill the part of you that is cringe, kill the part of you that cringes. That has helped me a lot.
Yes.
You're like a master sensei right there.
The way.
Yeah, the way.
It is the way.
Okay, cool. Well, can we please get some big rounds of applause and some emote spams in chat for our streamers? Thank you guys so much for being here once again. You can follow Kaisa at Kaisa, StardyD2 at StardyD2_. And I'm Imboston Tom at Imboston Tom. They all stream on Twitch, as well as you can find all their other socials probably on their Twitch. Before we head out, we are going to do some giveaways. So we're going to have Kaisa read the first one, then Star read the second one, and Tom read the third one. So the first thing that we're giving away is an MSI plushie.
What?
Look at that. She's so cute, so squishable, so plush. All right, Kaisa, read that number out loud.
The number is 252467.
Yeah, come here and get your prize. Let's go.
Never mind.
All right. Very PogChamp. Enjoy your plushie.
Very PogChamp.
Okay, the second thing we're giving away, a Logitech headset. The G335. It's blue. It's white. It's very cute. It's also
Heck
real nice. I
yeah.
know a lot of people like this one. All right, Star, read off that ticket.
252470.
Hey!
Oh, I heard someone. I heard that one.
Congratulations.
They were hyped.
Let's
Enjoy your
go.
volume control and flip up to mute.
Yo.
Sounds right now.
Yeah,
Let's
you
start
now you
streaming
got a
right
blue
there. There's
pair,
your
bro. You
microphone.
can those ones are black. Now you got an outfit switch one. It's cute. All right, the last thing we're giving away is an MSI gaming tumbler for
Oh,
your ice cold
yeah.
drinks.
You don't have to snort your G Fuel anymore.
Nope, no snorting G
You
Fuel
can
here.
mix
You
it
get
in
to put it
water.
inside the vacuum insulation layer with the stainless steel. Very good. All right, Tommy, let's hear it.
Well, this one is probably going to be the best winner because their number is 252468. Where are you?
Yay!
Oh, they're there. Okay, good.
Let's go. Very excited. All right. Once again, thank you guys so much for being here and for closing out the panels at TGEX. Very awesome. We're so
Thanks for
glad that we
having
were
us.
able to do it in
Thank
person.
you.
And thank you to all the Twitch viewers at home. Go spam some emotes. Show us your love. Once again, you guys can follow them all using their Twitch links and stuff. They're all posted. So yeah, have a great night, everybody. The Trying Gaming is still, or sorry, the convention TGEX is still going on, I think, for another hour. So go ahead out there, play some video games, get some prizes, get some stickers. It's very cool. All right, thank you guys for coming out tonight. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye. All right, I think we're done.